try and stabilize that.
Unless it's on my end, I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Chat might be around. I don't want to rely too much on stuff like that, but we'll see. Oh, we're underway as well. Brilliant. Good timing to start there. So both of our players going to be going onto the Hill of Destiny and taking on the Behemoth, perhaps the hardest boss of the entire game. As this kind of opening is going on, just kind of give you a little bit of a preamble to what's going on regarding the game. The players have already set up a glitch already, which is called the Resistance Glitch, and this gives specific defensive abilities to our partner characters who will be joining us. They will mirror the final NPCs, the final partner characters' stats and resistances. So Phoebe 2 at the end of the game will have her resistances. Also has a little bit of increased defense and a little bit of increased attack as well. So it's really, really good for getting through a lot of fights. Some fights that wouldn't be a one turn can be a one turn with the resistance glitch. So it's good. Opus starts off with the death. How's that for you, Cyclone?
Yeah, I saw him get crit. DDR had missed. I didn't see how many times. There's always one in there, but yep. If you miss once and get crit, it's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a good thing.
I think if you get crit once, regardless, it's over, isn't it? Because like you need 4 hits, and if he crits you by, because he goes first. If he crits you.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because it's 24 damage for the crit, and then 6 per.
Yeah. Quadruple damage for a crit. What a fantastic video game. It's not quadruple across the board. It's just for that first fight. There we go. Okay, clappers all round for Opus. He managed to get first fight.
See, on DDR side, we pick up our first partner character, Haley.
Somewhat of that, yeah. She's our first one.
Yep. Comes equipped with an axe and a life spell. We're gonna see use of that real quick, and then she'll be gone.
Pretty much, yeah. She Kaylee, her first. We get each character twice. Spoilers, sorry. And this is definitely the shortest of all of the partner characters moments. I'm just going to quickly just mute myself for 1 moment, so I'll leave you to carry the comms for just 1 moment quickly. Sorry.
And DRnoob recently actually set a new PB for himself. He improved his time by almost 1.5 minutes. So his PB is a 1:56.34. Still over 3 minutes off of Elmagus' record.
Yeah. I was just saying to Cyclone before as well. It's one of those things that, you know, when you struggle for so long to get a PB and you get a PB and it's like, oh god, there's still so much to go. Still so much to go. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing the approach and kind of closing down that time. It was a really good run over DDR. I think it's 156. Hopefully he won't stop that grind as well.
So we have our first boss here, I guess you can call it.
In inverting commas at least, yeah.
Doesn't have death resistance, so we cast life on him and he dies. Because that makes sense.
Yeah. Minotaur. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Is he called the zombie Minotaur, or just is he called the Minotaur? I think it's called Minotaur.
I'm not sure. I'll find out when Opus gets there.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the life spell is bugged in this version of the game. It basically works in the reverse that you would expect when you cast it on monster.
Certain bosses don't have a particular flag that kind of protects them from that particular thing, or doesn't have a specific. Well, yeah, it's not just a boss flag, but a specific resistance isn't kind of like ticked, and for some reason it works as an instant death for enemies. Which is kind of strange. Looking at it as well, though, DDR did have a very solid actual level forest as well going through, where he didn't actually have too much issues with Benjamin taking too much damage or dying. He got through quite quickly. You'll notice that for the most part, because we're going to be quite weak for the most part, you'll have enemies, your partner character will normally be able to one-shot enemies, and if you can, it's good, but generally you won't always be able to, especially as we reach the second half of the run. It's very important that, you know, if you're able to, you're able to let them get a one-shot, and then you can follow up to do damage and try and, at least when you're a little bit less resourced, it's kind of being able to do some damage whilst also one-shotting an enemy and then being able to finish it off in round 2 rather than kind of misplacing where your damage is going. If that makes sense. So that was a very hackneyed way of explaining that. Moko DDR went for the axe attack, but the axe has a shoddy hit rate. Bombs don't miss, it should be noted. Bombs do not miss.
They also cannot
but they do. Pardon, sorry?
They also do not crit, and their damage is spread between as many targets as there are. Knowing
when you can one-shot 2 enemies and when you're unable to do that is quite important. So for the most part here, our players are going to be wanting either 1 or 2 spawns. 2 is preferable for experience purposes, but for time-wise, you want 1. A little mixture of each is kind of nice. If you have any more than 2 enemies, you cannot one-turn the fight because you haven't got enough damage between Benjamin and between Tristan to be able to take them all out. If there's 2 enemies, Tristan can one-shot 1, and then you can follow up and kill the other. Nice and simple. Like you're seeing from down there. Down goes Skeleton, Bomb, the Gorgon, and GG. And that's just kind of like the quickest and best experience kind of route you're going to be going through this dungeon. If you do get 3, you're going to want to run away, which is annoying until we get to a certain point in the dungeon when it's kind of handy, actually. So we'll get back to that when we get there.
You can see the 3 formation there on DDR side just runs away from it. It is significantly longer to fight. Like, you can run away probably 4 times and still save time on the fight.
Yeah. Getting quite trolled here. There we go. He gets the 2 up. Very nice. Giving Opus a little bit of time to get back, which is also kind of handy for him. You'll probably notice as well that a lot of the gameplay generally, when you're out of battle, it's all the same pretty much. The speed is just what it is. So a lot of it is going to come down to in battle execution. Menuing is really, really important, and knowledge of battles, and, you know, also getting lucky.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah. So here we are, we've just picked up some seeds here, Cyclone. What can we do with seeds, sir?
Seeds, well, the main purpose of seeds, you use it and it restores all of your spell charges. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is a spell charge system with 3 types of magic: white, black, and mystic, or wizard. And it will refill all of those completely. There's a bug that we use early on in the game. If we go to use a seed in combat with our partner character on manual, and then cancel out and run away, it refreshes the seed for canceling your action, and then it refreshes the seed for running away. So we get 2 seeds out of it.
2 for the price of 1. I like it. So when I was mentioning it earlier that actually, if you do get some 3 encounters, we need to dupe the seeds twice, really, and getting 2 seed dupes is quite nice. So if you do get those 3 encounters, after you get those seeds and you want to run away, it's like, great, it's all good now. These are good because I can use them for actual run purposes rather than dupes.
And the Quakeless strats actually needs 3 seed dupes. Which I saw Opus grab a DDR, did not grab it. He took a step that way and then turned around.
Shit. Yeah, it should be noted that there are 2 strats, and it's just basically we only get Quake for one dungeon if you do pick it up. So it's up to people's preference if they actually want to go for Quake or not.
The Flame Resurrects fight, basically you keep Tristan on auto and you cast Cure Magic on the boss himself. He's undead, so Cure Magic works on him. The life spell does not work on him because they actually put the Death Flag on him.
Which is handy, you know. A boss shouldn't be susceptible to it, eh? That's definitely right. Bosses should not be susceptible to death, instant death. Keep that in mind. It is a tough fight. You kind of want to be doing this sub 10. You want to have a Flame Rex kill sub 10 really. Anything above it, obviously, well, you want to be like at least kind of sub 11, sub 10:30. But sub 10 is like a good Flame Rose fight. You're going to be wanting to hope for crits here. Again, Tristan may get them, he may not, but if you do get a crit, lovely. If Benjamin goes down, it's important to actually life him back. And also when Tristan's low, it's also important to use life on yourself, because life does not, the AI does not see it as a curative on someone who is alive. They only use it for people who are dead. That's a crit, and that'll finish it off. 10-12 for DDR there. So Tristan won't use life on himself, despite the fact that it restores your HP fully, and it cures any status elements as well. So you do want to use it on yourself if Tristan does get low, because if he's gone, it's GG pretty much, because for the entirety of the run, our partner character is the only one with the life spell. They're the only one who can revive, and Benjamin's going to be very, very weak for the most part.
Yep, the life spell does exist in the game, we just don't go to that section of the game.
But how, you ask? Haha, well, questions will be answered, friends. Questions will be answered. Patience is a virtue. That's actually really good, considering the difference in the time between the players after Minotaur. Opus has had a much cleaner bone dungeon. I think the fight was just a little bit better for him. I think he got a couple more crits. But yeah, it has caught up a little bit here on DDR.
Yeah, it looked like DDR had to use the majority of Tristan's life spells to make it through that.
He just left him on auto, because like really you don't want to. There are some fights where it's okay just to leave Benjamin dead, but I wouldn't recommend it for Flame Rose, just because Tristan needs. Benjamin can do a bit of damage, but Tristan needs to be doing damage really. So having at least one turn where he can is nice. But Flame Rose was just targeting Benjamin, which just sucks.
I guess the DDR is going to go up here and get the shield in this chest up here. Shield gives evasion and defense, which is very important, but it also gives +5 to speed, which is going to be very, very important. You can see DDR also picking up the cure potions. He picked them up after he picked up the seeds, and that is very important, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. There are in your item inventory that you'll see there's like a bunch of there's a big old box filled with just blank spaces where you'll be getting story items throughout the game. The first top four are usable items. There are 4 items. They're heal potions, cure potions, refreshers, and seeds. Seeds, as we said, they restore all of your magic charges. Heal potions recover any elements. Cure potions recover HP, and refreshers. Someone has said that they undo the effects of debuffs.
Correct. So if you have an attack down effect on you, it'll get rid of that.
Yeah. One of those items that was never explained, and when I was a kid, never knew what it was. So there we go. That's what those 4 items do. But the thing is, usable items are very interesting. They play a few different roles. We'll get back to them as we go, but just note that the items are being picked up in a very, very specific order in order to get this run done. Yeah, onto the second area, Aquaria, the water area. I'm going to head into the Libra Temple first, and DDR's going to pick up bombs first, and then speak to Phoebe. This is Phoebe. She's got blonde hair and blue armor, and she's cool. Very magic heavy character, very strong. If you would have picked that chest up after you get Phoebe, they would become arrows and not bombs. So that's why we pick them up now, because bombs obviously are a limited resource, and they will, for a lot of the time, be Benjamin's strongest damage dealing item.
I'm actually curious. I've never checked it. Do they become arrows right away, or do they become arrows after she has the bow?
Oh, it's probably after the bow. Sorry. Yeah, but like
I've never actually tested it.
Yeah. You're right. Well, it is that when a partner character has an ammo charge of like things, it would become theirs first, except the focus tower items. The focus tower items are always bombs in there. It's quite nice. But yeah, you have to wait until you get the bow, but yes, they would become arrows. That plays a part in Pyramid when you don't get the ones when you can pick them up in Pyramid at the end. If you need them.
DDR had an unfavorable 3 encounter there, so he took that opportunity to dupe C. Most of the battles through the Wintry Cave is basically all Phoebe's doing. She's either going to cast fire on all enemies, it's going to wipe them out, or thunder, followed by bombs, will wipe all the enemies.
Mm-hmm. Keeping an eye on exactly what formations you get as well, and your charges. So you'll see. Okay, so here, if you have Quake, what you can do here is you can fire on the Edgehog and then Quake the 2 remaining jobbies. Bam. There we go. It's actually very, very close between our players now. Or you can go for the Quakeless strats, which is you get I believe it's 1 extra seed. And
then you just thunder the battles you would Quake.
Yeah, you thunder instead. So very, very close. DDR going for the claw, which then pushes him down quickly. So every single weapon that Benjamin gets has different on-the-field effects. This is very important for DDR. I was mentioning formations. I don't know why you ran away from that. If you have Edgehogs and Scorpions, the Scorpions can still be one shot. But the AI, because it sees two different enemies, doesn't go for it. So you have to kind of swap between auto and manual and just go, you know what, fire all, move on with it. It can still be done, but the AI doesn't know. And that's why enemy formations and where your knowledge about how is best, whether it's best to go auto or best to go manual with your characters is very, very important. Keeping a seed there just to make sure you've got that extra seed.
The Quake and Quakeless Trout has a 1 battle difference, and that's coming right up here. You'll take either the battle on the left if you have Quake, or the battle on the right if you have Thunder. Right here. You'll see that they're fighting 2 different enemies here.
You could argue that movement-wise it's quicker to do Quakeless. But yeah, DDR getting a very, very nice and clean Thunder on his 2 turtles, which are weak Thunder. Again, we're going to be using Thunder and a bomb. The speed is really important here. This is why we pick up the shield. Sure, the defense is nice, but speed is very important to help you potentially outturn these. There we go. So Opus got the outturn on the Centaur. He takes the lead because the shield plus 5 speed means that Benjamin has the chance to go first over those Centaurs, and he didn't get riddled. The fight was over. He can move on quickly, which is very, very important. There's nothing worse than being outturned by every single Centaur and getting riddled across the board. Strike first, very nice. That helps.
The worst thing that can happen to that is Phoebe will waste her own spell charges on you.
Oh yeah, that's not okay. Because I was mentioning that spell charge is very, very important. Spell charge count is being able to remember what you're at, and if you have used a bonus Thunder, which DDR unfortunately has, will actually kind of increase or make you either need to cast early, or you'll need to use a seed early, or you won't be able to get as far on a seed, which might be tricky going into the later portions of the Ice Pyramid, maybe. Yeah, you'll see that it goes back and forth just based on how quickly some fights can go, or not. Ideally, you'll see Opus will get through this fight, and if I haven't been personally counting his charges the entire time, but if he has one more, it might be
he has one more.
Yeah, should have one more to use Thunder and Bomb on the birds, and then he'll use a seed and go, and then have 1 Thunder for the turtles, 1 Thunder for the Centaurs, and then if he wants to use the 3, he probably shouldn't on Squidite, then you have the 3 for full spacing, which is nice.
You only need 2 for full spacing before the boss. This is actually I do the Quakeless stress, so I know exactly how many Thunders. Everything just works out. Use 3 at the end of this dungeon, 2 in full space, and then seed up for the boss there.
So do you always use a Thunder on Squidite, or do you always go for the crit potential?
I Thunder Squidite.
What?
I Thunder to kill the ads. Yes, just one.
Oh, right, okay, right, see. Yeah, because I'd normally go bow on 1, and then bomb, and then just go ham on Squidite. But, yeah.
Squidite fight.
No, it's not what I do. I do Thunder and Bomb. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, which is what both of our players have done here.
So this will
Opus
probably
getting
come down
them.
to who gets a crit or not, really. I mean...
Opus already got one. Oh, DDR got one too.
Nice, nice.
See, Benjamin going down on Opus's side. He probably will not revive him. Benjamin's kind of dead weight here.
Yeah, but I mean, Phoebe can handle this herself, especially if Squidite wants to do the drain attack, which is very, very helpful.
I didn't see how many crits that was. It had to have been at least 3
Jeez,
for DDR side.
DDR took a big lead. I came out of nowhere.
I just looked back over and it's dead. I was like, oh. I'll be right back.
No worries. Okay. So as our players is making their way out of Wintry Cave, you kind of get the vibe that there are kind of like there's like one small dungeon and one bigger dungeon in most areas, so there'll always be like a kind of introduction to the area to kind of move on to the next. So yeah, our players is making their way out now. The whole in terms of narrative, obviously like Aquaria's knackered and they're just trying to like save that part. So we need to go to the Wintry Cave to get the Libra crest, so we can get into the inner sanctum of the Libra temple, so we can get the wake water to revive Aquaria. Sounds simple, right? We're going to go into the Libra temple and find out that in fact the pool is dried up. Oh no! What can we do? It's all going badly. It's getting a bit of stuttering on my stream, so let me just reset that.
The only time we talk to the old man.
Yeah. You don't really need to talk to him otherwise. You can just move straight past him. But yeah, so now that we've got a little pouch of wake water, make our way back to Aquaria and save Aquaria. GG easy every time. Right? Let's give it a go. That didn't do everything we needed to do. Bit of a shame. So,
They got a leaf. They have 1 leaf. That's fine.
That'll do, right? Yeah.
Our work here is done.
Aquaria saved. Yeah. So now to the Falls Basin. This is quite cool. There's a nice little sequence break in this. The main kind of gimmick about this area is that you're going to be pushing these blocks to create pathways for you to jump over. The jump it just literally moves you 2 spaces ahead as long as you can land. So yeah, kind of nice little fun puzzle to do here. Again, these fights can be very, very, very quick. Just you're going to have Phoebe using fire on all and mainly taking them out. There's 3, I believe. She does use fire on all 3, and then you can bomb the finish.
Correct.
Yeah, and then there'll be a couple of Nagas as well. Actually, I think the Nagas are the later on one, but snake ladies. There are snake ladies. Are they Nagas these ones?
Yeah.
They're Lamias, yeah, and then it's Nagas. Yeah, snake ladies can be thundered. There's 3 of them, they can be thundered, so it'll be thunder and cat's claw or ball, whatever you want to do to finish off.
DDR went for the axe attack on the Sahagan there, but it missed. It's faster animation.
Yeah. He keeps going for the axe, and the axe keeps missing. And I know that the axe animation is quite quick. I believe the steel sword should be enough to finish that off. I tend to go cat's claw, but whatever. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I think I heard him talking about it. I think the sword makes a text box, so he goes for the axe instead.
Alright.
I could be wrong. I may have misheard him, but
I just don't know what the sword would do. What effect does the sword have? Which would be, maybe they're strong against sword attacks or weak against sword attacks. I don't know. But yeah, players are going to just push the ice blocks, and then they're going to be. You're supposed to go to the top right and then be able to kind of like fold back round, but by placing the ice blocks there, it actually skips that entire top left section of Falls Basin, which is quite nice. It's just a nice little skip, just to remind you that there is some serious tech in Mystic Quest.
both our players are actually hitting level 8, which is very important for this fight. If you do not hit level 8, you will have 280 HP, and the crab will one-shot you.
which sucks, honestly. Snow Crab can be a little bit iffy. Again,
oh, nice crit.
Yeah, nice, good game. Thunder's really important here because she has to be on manual as well, unless you want to heal. Because Thunder will obviously do so much damage to Snow Crab, and just being able to burst him down quickly is very, very important. Ooh, getting a little bit of a lead now for Opus in terms of damage animation. So you can kind of tell how far into a fight you are with an enemy, first of all by counting damage, but also by looking at the funny little animations they have. Frothy Crab.
Yeah, it's one of the best parts about this game is the monster sprite changes.
It's kind of helpful on a pragmatic value where you're like, ah, this is how well I'm doing. But also, it's hilarious. So Opus taking a lead there again. Very nice.
Yeah, DDRnoob been doing damage control for most of this fight.
Seems like a lot of his fights, apart from Squid, have been just damage control. Like he had the same issue with Flame Risk as well. Just a lot of focus going onto Benjamin, and then because again, just it's important to have him as like a sponge, so you can have the ability to go in on the crab.
Now, I know Phoebe just taught us how to use jumbo bombs and all, but I would not take her advice on anything explosive.
Yeah, we'll find out. there's a little scene with her later. It's very good. Important as well to note that our players will also pick up the refreshers at this point, at the beginning of the pyramid, which DDR is doing right now. It was a little bit earlier. This means that we now have the seeds in slot 1. So on the top 4 slots of the item inventory, you've got the seeds in the first slot, you've got cure potions, and the refreshers in third. Just a little update there in terms of our activation.
Oh, and we didn't mention this. The gimmick for this dungeon is that the monsters are invisible.
Yeah.
There's an item to make them visible, but we know where all the monsters are. They're also just in our way anyway, so...
You can't skip out on fights because, aha, I found a secret way. Every single fight we do is mandatory. It's mandatory. So, yeah. It's kind of nice, but also kind of annoying, because like you know that you're not going to get more fights possible. But it also means that regardless of what you do, these fights will happen. You know, you can't like speed up a dungeon by skipping a fight. You can't really go over. You're not really going to get away with that. So. If you are hoping
there's a fight in the game that you can skip. In Zoo's area.
Well, yes.
It's one fight.
I'll give you that one. Yeah, that's fair. It would really suck as well. That fight, I'm sure, would really suck if we got it. Knowing what else is on Zoo's floor, that fight would suck. So yeah, I mean, again, this is just about knowledge in terms of exactly what we're coming up against, and the speed really is going to emanate from just being able to quickly input, you know, the right kind of fights, auto Phoebe or not auto Phoebe. You know, that's kind of important, because a lot of the fights you'll find that you'll just kind of find really, really weird decisions sometimes, and it's not just about being able to one-shot, but being able to kind of like go for as long as possible. You'll see some players, for example, they will use Thunder on the gathers, gathers, whatever. But you can also just bomb them if there's 2 of them. You use a jumbo bomb. Depending on your bomb count, you may not, for some reason, you may have used more. You don't want to kind of go for that, or you just may be more comfortable using Thunder. It's quite a quick animation as well, Thunder. I think that's the thing as well. You might see like where you might go, oh, surely you use a bomb here. Then you'll find out that the bomb animation is actually very, very long. So Opus here could go, defend and bomb on the both of them, but some players would use Thunder instead. So, depending on what you want to do or you have available to you.
There's not a whole lot of extra Thunder cast with the Quake strat. with doing 2 seeds.
That's the thing. I don't even with Quake strats. I'm pretty sure I managed to get through. I think I made an error one. I never used to use a seed on Benjamin before Flamers, because I'm an idiot. I used to dupe one less seed and get away with it. Despite, but hey, very, very nice actually. You want to get to that button about 30 minutes, really. Sub 30 is possible to get to that button, but getting to that button around 30-ish minutes is good. Both players so far playing very well. There are multitudes of ways to mash as well, like the post-game or post-fight text, for example. You can mash, regularly by kind of spamming A and B alternately, but also you can mash with the D-pad as well. So you can just roll around on the D-pad as well as mashing the A and B, and it kind of clears the text very, very quickly. It's weird how in battle and out battle mashing is very, very different. But yeah, I think menus are very, very important in this game, and kind of a forgotten art. I think sometimes people underestimate just how important menuing is because they focus on how RNG heavy it can be in this game.
Yeah, I mean, if you save 1 second per battle, just in battle menuing this, I don't know how many battles are in this game, but it probably saved you 2 minutes.
120 battles. Sounds about right. There are a lot of battles in this game.
I mean, you've got to think, the tree alone probably has 30 or 40.
Yeah, jeez, God. Oh, the tree. Oh, getting PTSD, dude. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that we're going to be needing to do on our way up to the top. Hopefully our players should be able to get through with all of the on the charge they've got now. I don't think they need any more charges. In terms of seeds, they should be able to get through now. Very important item that's going to be coming up. I'll mention it now because we're getting very close to it. Is the Noble Armor. The Noble Armor can be found on the floor that DDR is going to be approaching now. It's there in that little red chest. In order to get that, we're going to need to go up a floor and then fall back down. Whilst we're in there, we're also going to pick up a heal potion, which completes our positioning of all the items. So seeds in slot 1, cure potions in slot 2, refreshers slot 4, heal potions slot slot 3 for refreshers, slot 4 for heal potions. It's very late. I don't know. We're going to fall down and get that. The Noble Armor is important for multiple reasons. Firstly, defense increase. Very, very nice. But the most important thing and the biggest thing that we like about this is that it has resistance to water. We're in a water dungeon. The boss coming up is going to be water element. Water resistance seems good. Seems good.
And another just good side effect of going down there is the door is now open. So we can leave very quickly.
Yes, that's true as well. Yes, we do press the button. Because obviously at the beginning of the dungeon, our good friend Phoebe was like, "Hey, swords can poke stuff. Go and poke stuff. Pokey, pokey." That may or not have been the actual wording in the conversation, but you know.
So if we were to wait to do this afterwards, these battles we're doing right now would have to be done with Benjamin only, which is not a good thing.
Oh, God, no. Yeah. There's a lot of enemies in these fights. There's a lot of free formations that you can get, and the Sphinxes specifically very, very dangerous. They don't die easily, and they can confuse you, and it just adds a load of time, and it's not nice.
So yeah, even not even accounting for the Noble Armor or the heal potions, I'm pretty sure this is actually the fastest way to set up escaping this dungeon. Because otherwise you'd have to fight 2 more battles on the floor above to get it ready. I don't know.
Kind of interesting how certain dungeons lose all their monsters when you defeat the boss, or one does, but no other. Kind of wish that was a thing across the board, really, don't you?
It'd be nice. I don't think there's anything we get out of it as far as speed run's concerned, though. Like we had one spell in the one dungeon, but I don't think anything else would have anything we'd go out of our way to get.
No. They're just getting thunder down. Again, it's one of those things. The thunder spells, like the wizard spells, are really, really powerful. That's why they're very, very rare. It's not perfect, but for the most part, you kind of have a 4-to-1 ratio between white, black, and wizard. As Benjamin, I know that's definitely Phoebe's charge count as well at the end of the game. But the wizard spells are very, very powerful. So they come along very, very rarely. They're kind of, you don't get any for a while, especially in the run if we skip out on some stuff. But yeah, they're very, very powerful, and we'll use them sparingly for now at least. Our players have also picked up the Knight Sword, which gives us a bonus of +5 speed again on top of the speed, the +5 we've already got on the shield. So it's kind of nice to maybe go into battle sometimes with it, because either you can pop yourself over for a potential strike first, but more so in battle you have the potential to outturn an enemy with it.
Nice. Wonder if they're gonna hit level 11.
We're going to find out soonish. Very important again for level 11, just Snow Crab, as Cyclone pointed out earlier, having that extra HP and that ability to get destroyed by the boss.
It's not as important for this fight, but it helps. Hey, Opus did get it.
Yeah.
DDR as well. They both hit level 11 on the last fight.
Nice. Perfect routing. There we go. It is not always in your control. It should be known for those who are watching and don't really or don't know as much about the run. That is not a guarantee to get level 11, based on the fact that you might get less encounter, or like your encounters may have less enemies in them. You know how we were talking about in the Bone Dungeon, we want to also get 2 or 1 for speed. 1 for speed, 2 for better experience. If you don't get good experience, you don't get wow. DDR just got bodied.
He didn't have her capped out. I didn't see how much damage it did, but Phoebe was not at full health to start the fight.
Yeah, like the only I mean, even from full HP, a crit cannot kill. Yeah, he's lost 79.98 HP. A crit from the Ice Golem will hit Phoebe for about 500 and I think
it's 630.
617. It's 617. And yeah, that's like, it's done. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And of course that crit landed. You know, of course it does. Again, Phoebe should be on manual because she won't. She may not use fire otherwise. You know, so
she has a tendency to like to use thunder, which does about 200 less damage.
Again, it's because that AI is thinking that wizard spells are powerful, so you've got to use the wizard spell.
Nope, taking it down really quickly. Sub 39 Ice Golem is really good.
Very, very nice. Yeah, that is really well. That was a good fight, man. So Opus takes the lead again. Again, there's a lot of damage control. See, and this is where it gets tricky into the end game as well. The end part of the fight is he'll start spamming waterfall or snowfall or something. I can't really that name of it. I'm not on it today. And that not only deals damage to both you and your opponent, but heals him for about 200, which is about half of a Benjamin attack. So that sucks if you're kind of like, if Phoebe's sitting there doing nothing but healing for a few turns because of it, you'll be doing, you know, half as much damage, and you won't be able to push into it even further using fire.
But that's actually one of the easier battles to count damage on. He has 6,500 health, a fire and a bomb does about 1,000. And then he heals himself for 200. So it's pretty easy to count.
Yeah, so if anyone did want to try their mid-speedrun mathematics,
What's
then
doing? I've never seen this. What is he doing? He took an
what, DDR getting a
extra
fight?
battle.
I
I'm very
don't know.
confused.
DDR? I think he's just misinputting. I think he's just, yeah. Opus picking up the bombs there. You need 10 bombs for the next thing, so he had 8. He needed to pick up some more. So we're about to speed up the game a little bit and break it in a little way. First of all, we've got the exit battlefield. I'll cover that and I'll let you cover the big one. So the exit battlefield, the battlefields are just kind of challenge fights of like, you got 10 fights in each battlefield, and when you clear outer battlefield, by which I mean defeat all the monsters in it, you get a prize. The prize for this one is the magic exit. It's a white magic, so we're going to get the most charges of it. What it does, first of all, is in the field, it exits you from the dungeon or from wherever you are, any kind of inward map, to the point you entered it from the world map, which is very, very quick for kind of like escaping dungeons, escaping villages, and all that kind of stuff. A bonus effect is in battle, you can use the exit magic to exit a monster from the battlefield, completely erasing them. The fight's over, but you don't get the experience for it. That's important to know. In terms of speed for this section, the Fanquids, you want to get them fighting them alone. If you get a Sphinx, like Opus just did, you escape from that battle, because Riddle, we can't deal with it, and you can't one-shot them. So we flee until we get a Fanquid by themselves and one-shot the Fanquid. That is exit battlefield. We make our way through. And then, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. It's going to get intense here in Mystic Quest Land. And when we get there, Cyclone will eagerly explain to you how broken this game can get.
DDR says he's proud of the beholders. I have to ask him what that was all about.
We will ask him, no doubt, in our post-race interview if he'd up for it. We'll stick around after the run if you want to listen to the runners give their thoughts on the runs. Just as a heads up. There we go. So Opus has cleared his battlefield, and he can continue now. Onward! I think there's like
This little section here. Got a little block to push and we'll exit out. There's a bunch of chests in here. We have the Blizzard spell to the left, the fire spell's up on that ledge, the Venus shield's behind that rock over there. We can't, there's no point getting any of it. The Venus shield actually would have a point, but we can't get it right now. I think we need the Venus key or something.
Yeah.
It would give us paralysis resistance, which would be very nice.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly some enemies in the third, in inverted commas, the third section of the game, where we do get paralyzed quite a lot, and one specific boss that would be stunning to not have paralysis landing all the time.
Alright, so moving into the Firebug area, the inventory, we've had it laid out so far. We got seeds, cure potions, refreshers, heal potion. Either they already have or they're about to use the last of the seeds, leaving an empty slot in the top left. In Firebug is the first place we can buy seeds. We are going to buy 0 seeds, and it will put 0 seeds in our inventory. The game is programmed to, when you use a seed, subtract 1, and then if it hits 0, remove it. Since it's already 0, it subtracts 1 from 0, gives us 255. It also corrupts the item slot next to it, and it corrupts our cure potions into sky coins. And then we go to buy cure potions. There's only 4 slots in our inventory for consumables, and they're all full, one of them being sky coins. So it tries to put the cure potions in our key items, corrupting our key items entirely. And buying exactly 19 gives us the Sky Coin, the Sun Coin, I don't know which coin it is, and the Mobius Crest.
Yeah, which is very, very, very important. The Mobius Crest, because we're going to be using that to warp, and the Sun Coin, obviously, so we can just, we've done Fireberg, we've done the third level because we got the Sun Coin to continue, so GG. Again, that buying 19 is very important because it just moves it along a certain value to kind of get there. So yeah, Opus is now going to make his way to the third section, fourth, which is towards the end of the game. Now here is where exit is really, really important. If we didn't have exit, this fight would be a lot, but a lot harder. So one enemy, he's faster than you, just exit him. Sleep, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep. There we go. Okay, exit. GG. If we couldn't just exit him from the fight, we'd be, having to kind of like hope to not get petrified or steeped or whatever a lot longer, which just makes that a nightmare. And a lot of enemies that we cannot one-shot from this point on will be defeatable with Benjamin. Benjamin is guaranteed. The worst he can do is take an enemy off the field now. That's the worst he can do now because of that, and that's very important because we've skipped. Well, apart from enemies that have reflect, but we've skipped an entire dungeon now, an entire section. So we're very, very weak. Benjamin cannot kill enemies anymore. So by being able to exit enemies, that's the worst you can do is get rid of an enemy. You don't get the experience for it, obviously, but it's not so bad, right?
Serious. Phoebe left at the end of the Ice Pyramid. She went back to Aquaria to something storyline related that we ignored.
Oh yeah, she left. She wanted to go make sure that Spencer was okay. Something like that.
Wow, dude, you're getting the jump on the zombie.
Dang, dude, that's nice.
One of the nice things about the sword.
That +5 comes in handy every now and then. Because I'm pretty sure, when someone says it does +5 speed, you have the chance to outturn or the chance to get a strike first, and it never happens. Believe me, it'll happen. It'll happen, and then you'll be happy that it happened.
We didn't talk about how useless Tristram is for this area. The only thing Tristram can do is kill ghosts.
Yeah.
Fun you see the three mummy fight here, DDR ran from. Screw that fight.
Yeah. Isn't it like 3 hits you need? Because like one,
if
two is not enough.
Yeah, if he does not crit, he needs 3. If he crits, he'll take him out in 1 hit, which is great.
That's not too good. I think as well, if you don't have the resistance glitch, you can't one-shot even the specters. The specters.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, they can only get one shot because of the bonus attack that comes from the resistance glitch because of the just the basic stats that comes from the armor that CB2 has late game.
The ghosts also have a move that lowers your attack, and if Tristram's attack is lowered, he can no longer kill them at 1 hit.
Good.
Which is the only time refreshers might have a use.
Yeah. Could you imagine preempting that? He's gonna outturn Tristram for power drain. So let's use a refresher now. That would be the read of the century.
So there's Opus back in Aquaria. We're gonna drop Tristram off with our good friend Spencer that we totally went to talk to before.
Yeah. We know who Spencer is.
Main reason we're back here is we talked to the tree won't let us in. Tristram's not scary enough, I guess. So we go back to get our good friend Kaylee, who's in Aquaria for some reason.
Yeah, she was making a pilgrimage or something, I don't know, but for some reason it was really weird because I believe text is Benjamin goes, Kaylee will be at Aquaria by now. So it's almost like he knows that she's definitely going that way. So we head down to Spencer's place and Tristram's all, hey, I'm going to go treasure hunting with you because I'm a treasure stuff. And as Cyclone mentioned, Phoebe plus bombs? Find out a little bit about that after getting the Dragon Claw.
You are going down to get the arrow spell with Tristram.
Yeah,
most people will wait for having Kaylee. You can see on Opus' side, Phoebe just caused a collapse of the tunnel that Spencer has been digging for God knows how long.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just gonna plant this bomb here, and then she's just like, get out of the way! Just pegs it out, bless her. She tries her best. She tries her best.
So last we met Kaylee, she was level 3. It's been about 45 minutes.
She's gone swole. That's what the kids say, right? Swole.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Just making sure I had my vocabulary correct.
And just drink some elixir, take a power nap. Good to go.
She's got a whey protein going on. But yeah, she's now got a massive axe as well. It's called the Giant's Axe. You can get one of these for yourself if you really want one, but you know, we're not. What Opus is going to do as well now is he's going to walk to the other side of Focus Tower, and then he's going to go back in. And earlier, obviously, we saw DDR go and grab Arrow. We're going to go do that now with Kaylee. Arrow is a very important spell because we're going to be fighting a lot of enemies that are weak to Arrow. So having both Benjamin and Kaylee have an Arrow spell, that's going to be quite nice.
I mean, even in the battle to get Arrow alone, the Ninja and the Chimera are both weak to Arrow.
Kind of handy, isn't it, really? See, this is the thing. Like I mentioned, I asked Magus about, you know, going to get Arrow with Tristram because, for whatever reason, yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of rare to see it because, you know, Tristram can one-shot the Minotaur in the center. Who has the ability to paralyze, I think. Yeah, he can do. I think it's paralyzed. He can do it. Something he can do it. It's not great. And then you can exit the ninja if the ninja doesn't explode all over you. And then you can finish off the Jin afterwards. So it is doable with Tristram. But I was wondering if it was actually quicker movement-wise. Apparently it's not. But it just works out exactly the same. It breaks even. But whatever you're comfortable with, right?
Yeah, we talk about how useful Arrow is. Even on the approach where we had Tristram before, the zombies and the ghost, I believe, are both weak to Arrow. Mm-hmm. So you can see Opus going for multi-targeting both with Benjamin and Kaylee.
Yeah, I think Benjamin's not strong enough, is he, to do the two-shot, or to one-shot two enemies. Kaylee is, but Benjamin's not, so...
Well, now that he's level 12... And this is actually an important level threshold for this point. If you're level 12 and you have the 3 mummies, he can take out 2 with the Claw equipped.
Yeah, we should actually mention that. Actually, I completely forgot about that. The Dragon Claw. We got the Dragon Claw of Tristram. He nicked it from us at the beginning of the game. The Dragon Claw has a variety of different status ailments. It's a very good weapon. Bunch of status ailments, poison, petrify, which are going to be coming up later in this dungeon. But just like the Knight's Sword gives you speed +5, the Dragon's Claw gives you magic +5, which is very good for dealing just that extra bit of damage. It'll be used against bosses mostly, and kind of being able to deal a bit more damage to enemies if you can't one-shot and you can with it. But this is the best dungeon in the game, right, Cyclone?
Oh no, this is the greatest dungeon. It's a giant maze. It all looks the same. If you don't know where you're going to get lost.
There are a million enemies, and by a million I mean there's at least a million.
Mm-hmm. And then you also have introduction of magic-resistant enemies. They will reflect magic back at you.
Yeah.
It's just a great dungeon. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. It starts off so promising as well. You're getting strike first on trees because they're really slow, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be fine." Bye, mummies. We're gonna skip all of you. Look at how many enemies there are. Look, and these aren't even the required ones. These are just the random guys who are hanging out, going, "Hey, buddy, do you want to get this random chest that's got like 3 cure potions in it?" No. You can make yourself feel good by using the Dragon Claw.
The brown chest can only have cures, heals, refreshers, and seeds. They can't have anything else.
Well, they have ammo as well, don't they? Like bombs and stuff.
Oh, right, yes, of course, ammunition.
Anything with a number, I guess.
Basically,
Anything with a number. Yeah, again, resistance glitch here was very important. You don't have glitch. This is with Kaylee, so by her having that resistance glitch, she can one-shot these scorpions and the toads later on, I believe, which is really annoying because certain enemies, the toads included, we haven't seen them. There they are. They have, I believe, poison touch. So when you hit them and you don't kill them, you get poisoned for it. And that sucks. So if you do kill them, you don't get the poison touch doesn't proc. Yeah, so that's kind of good.
These worms Opus coming up to is one of the biggest sources of RNG in this dungeon. You can get either 2 or 3. 2 is about 20 times faster than getting 3.
20 times. I can work with that, yeah.
Yeah, because Kaylee double casting arrow will wipe him out. Triple casting does not wipe him out with Kaylee, and most of the time you're going to be sitting there for all 3 of their attacks before Benjamin will go, and their attacks are not short animations.
Yeah, they really aren't. I mean, they either use Quake, which just takes about, a season or 2 to get through. Look at that, it takes ages. You'll probably lose Benjamin at times, which sucks. And so Opus is going for the double arrow. He did actually get ahead of 1, which is quite nice. The other thing you can do is you can just pop Kaylee onto auto and use exit, and then Kaylee auto will just attack 1, as long as you have more than half your HP. Auto NPCs will heal if you're under half HP. But yeah, it's because they're weak to axe attack, so Kaylee will have a preference towards that, I believe. Yeah. One shot for the most part, and being able to exit means that you'll get rid of 1, so you'll watch less animations, and then if Benjamin goes first, you'll get rid of hopefully you go ahead of the one that you're trying to target. Doesn't always happen. I won't lie to you, but it's one of those things that I generally say that going for the auto exit is the better move. But if you do get the jump on one enemy and you arrow 2, if you arrow all and arrow all again and you get the jump, that is really handy. But it's like, do you want to take that risk?
Yeah, I would say the exit attack exit auto is probably definitely the fastest strat. I usually do the double cast myself for arrow because experience. You really, really want to be level 16 by the end of this dungeon, and it's a very tight window.
Yeah. So again, as I said, exit you do not get the experience for. So if you exit too many enemies, you won't hit level 16. So again, it's kind of similar to the way the crab works. Level 16 is really important to get because at level 15 you don't have enough HP or defense to withstand one of the bosses.
I think it's a crit.
Yeah, is it a crit? But yeah,
I think crit is like 604.
I should know it's also he can Quake you and one shot you with Quake as well. So if Kaylee gets petrified and you then use heal potion,
yes, okay.
Quake will one shot you. So you want to make sure you can't get one shot if you're in that scenario. It's a safety measure basically, but a very important one because Ghidra sucks.
Like you see, Bo was talking about the claw having status effects before. Opus is actually opting to attack the ooze with it, and he does get the petrification proc, so it just immediately kills him. He also got the crit, which would have also killed him.
Right. 2 chances to one shot. Nice. It's actually really weird the way that petrification works. So when enemies get petrified, you see them go boo and die as if they die. They're not actually removed from the map. Like in order for that, there have to be like other enemies on the board to have been cleared, then to be taken off the map. It's really, really, really weird.
Yeah,
but, like, the enemies are still technically there. Odd.
Yes, if you do a multicast spell, it still considers them a target as far as diminishing the damage on your spell.
Yeah. Is annoying if you forget about it. But like ideally, when you have multiple enemies and the oozes are there, you're probably going to try and get rid of the others with, you know, if it's like 2 worms and an ooze, you're probably going to go exit aero and then solo target the ooze afterwards.
So for example, if Benjamin gets the petrification proc and Kaylee misses with her axe, you could not then use arrow with Kaylee to wipe out the other 2 worms.
Even though he's petrified, does the reflect still take care?
It does not reflect it anymore.
Yeah. But it wouldn't one-shot the 2 worms remaining, basically, is what you know. Yeah. Because damage spread. See, it's all very interesting, isn't it, guys? There's loads of stuff going on. You know what? I didn't actually take note of the time in which they entered the tree.
Neither did I.
55, 56. I always like to make sure I'm checking when they enter the tree, because
they're both on really good pace. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's 1 hour, and they're through the worm room. That's it. Getting it tick to an hour, roughly where Opus is. You want to have brilliant pace is hitting an hour on this fight here, or just before you approach it. If you hit an hour on that fight, that's like Jesus, dang.
World record pace.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was on Opus's pace when I had my God tree the other day.
It's always nice when you get a good tree, and then you kind of go. I was racing Elmer. If you don't know who Almegas is, he's the record holder. If you are interested in running this game, he wrote the guide on GameFAQs. Check it out. Yes, people still submit runs and guides to GameFAQs. I was racing with Almegas, and he actually golded his tree. He got nothing, but every single worm encounter, like the little blue worms, every single encounter in the tree was a 2. He'd never seen it before. He's like, I don't know what happened, but I just golded my tree. I was like, what do you mean you golded your tree, Goose? You don't just gold the tree. And he was like, yeah, you know the worms? 2. It was quite good.
That's pretty amazing. The double ooze fight, under normal conditions, cannot be 1 turn. Basically, you'll either go with a claw and attack, which is 2 turns, or a bomb and attack, which is 2 turns. If Kaylee axes one of the oozes, and then that ooze tries to drain Kaylee, because of the resistance glitch, we are resistant to drain, so it reverses the effect and kills the ooze.
Oh yeah.
And that makes it a 1-turn battle.
Which is really nice. Yeah, I just love how it's just enough HP, isn't it? It's just enough HP drain or damage to finish off the final one, and then a bomb will one-shot it. And then if you do go for the Dragon Claw proc, you'd have to get the proc, obviously, for it to land. It doesn't always land. Like, I think there's quite a high chance of landing, but it doesn't always land. I wouldn't rely on it 100% of the time. But...
In my experience, it's about a medium, like 50-ish% chance. That's just in my experience, though. I don't actually know what it is.
That's not bad odds, to be honest.
Oh, May just brings up a good point. Kaylee can crit. That's still a thing that can happen. It's just rare that Kaylee crit.
Yeah, the axe crit rate is incredibly low. I think I actually managed to get 3 crits from Kaylee in 1 run, which apparently is unheard of. But yeah, axe crits are very, very rare. We like them though. I just certainly wouldn't say no to an axe crit. If one came along, I wouldn't say no, go back where you came from. I'd welcome
What if
in.
she was confused though? And attacked you?
Yeah, and if she crit Benjamin, sure. God. Full HP. It's like confused Kaylee. Like, now you crit, love. Now you crit. Thanks. Oh man, the best crits are unnecessary crits, right? God. The worst is when you're playing like Fire Emblem, and, like, you know, the enemy has like 5 HP left. You crit it. It's just like, I don't need to crit this. Where was my crit on a 5% chance on the boss? Anyway. Different game.
Also, the enemy having a 5% crit chance means you will get crit.
Yeah, of course.
Every time!
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Absolutely getting crit. There's no basically 100, dude.
5's pretty high, I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with that.
Yeah. Definitely a quick to kill us all if it's 5. Oh dear. Video games are fun, guys. Video games are fun. If you don't think video games are fun...
We have that exact situation on Opus' side I was just talking about. Kaylee missed and he petrified the ooze.
There we go.
He was aware enough not to try to arrow them, or he just didn't want to change his menu, I'm not sure.
This is really close, man. I'm really liking this. Like,
yeah, this is good. Chad mentioned the skeletons. The skeletons are not an issue until the last battle, because all of them are 2 and they can be wiped out with arrow. Skeletons are really nasty. They have Doom Gaze, Petrify. Do they have Petrify? I don't know. They do a lot of bad things to you.
Yeah, they suck. I think they have a riddle as well, don't they? They have a confuse.
Yeah, I believe so.
The point is, they can just kick you in if they want, and they will, because it's Mystic Whip. So yeah. Again, it's one of those things where you have to kind of solo focus them at a separate point. Opus getting the rare 3 fight on the skeletons there on the last screen before the boss.
No, there's always 3 on the last one, I think.
Is it always 3? I'm pretty sure I've seen 2.
I've always seen it 3.
Dang.
Alright, Opus did not hit level 16 going into the Ghidra.
That's not good.
So he'll have to watch out for the Petrify and Quake that you were talking about. Not that there's anything he can do about it.
Yeah. Watch out! Cheers, mate. Okay, so again, Arrow's really good because, oh god, here we go. Petrify and Kaylee! I didn't want to jinx him.
Alright, you made it through.
Okay.
For now. Yeah, and you're gonna want to keep Benjamin topped off as well because of this. If you have less than 500 health, 507 health, pretty much guaranteed to die immediately.
Yeah, so kind of nuts. This is again why we pick up Arrow, because Arrow is very powerful against Ghidra as well. Actually, DDR is entering the Ghidra fight as well. It seems like DDR's tree's been a little bit better. They're on the same fight now. Ideally, what you want to see is petrifying, is paralyzed gas on Kaylee. That's the optimal because it doesn't do anything to her. No damage, it's quick, it's over quickly, all that kind of stuff. He should be able to get this as well, even if they're stone gas on. Ooh, he's gonna go for it. I think he's been counting, so he knows he's got the kill.
Cool.
There it is. Nice fight from Opus. That can be scary, but he had that number in his head and wins. Let's get those goon kids in chat as well. Goon kids.
Looks like Didio's having the same problems he's been having the entire game.
Damage control, yeah. Oh god, what is this?
I mean, it could be worse. It's about to get worse.
Oh no. Okay, don't use Quake. So yeah, okay. Fine. Also, for anyone who's wondering why there's little yellow bars on one side and numbers on the other, you play in scale or figure mode. Scale is just this game's aesthetic theme is that it has these little bars. The thin ones are worth 1 HP and each bar is a full block, kind of like Metroid style. of 40. So every single level up you get 40 HP. Just in case that hasn't been clarified at this point or you haven't noticed from watching Opus' screen. Most people play on figure because they can see the number, and that's cool. If you're a rebel and you know, like me and DDR, you play on scale, which just requires you to be able to know the, numbers and be able to immediately translate those images into.
It can be a little difficult. Like, is Kaylee at half health right now? I'm not sure.
She's under it. You can tell because if you look at where the two meet, if more, you know where it's kind of like there, she's got 2 rows and she's got 1 row there. It's more than half the 1 row of the singular. So where it splits off, it's kind of hard to explain.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I see what you mean.
More than if there's more red than yellow, she's under half HP.
Okay. The reason that's important is if you're ever under half health, the AI will use cure on them.
Yeah.
If you're using auto.
You don't want to do an auto when you want to kill and they're just under, but you don't need them to heal because you're going to do the fight anyway. That sucks. The hardest ones are when the levels aren't even, and or when the HP isn't even, and you need to be keeping an eye on the little ones as well. Like if you're bang on half on those little jobbies, but the little ones are like just on the you've got like 21 HP missing on that next row. That's the annoying one.
Yeah. I guess it should also be noted that the scale is actually the default option, so there is a menu involved to change it to the number.
Which means it's technically faster. It's technically faster to play on scale. Do you imagine getting world record by 0.5 of a second? I told you. Oh man.
Going into Mount Gale, we picked up the meteor spell in the tree before we left. So both players went back into the tree. All the monsters were gone. It's the only dungeon that happened to, and they get the meteor spell. It makes Mount Gale specifically way better. Every single encounter up to the boss can be handled by a single target arrow from Kaylee and a meteor cast from Benjamin.
Yep.
Also, the
very yeah. Sorry.
The boss, like nothing does anything to him except for meteor.
Because and that's the thing, like he's not weak to Meteor, but because Meteor is just so powerful, because it is a wizard spell, single targeting is just godly with it. So it just does that much damage anyway, which is really, really important. It is also, the Meteor spell is, you know, obviously it's most important here. It is kind of also helpful for situational fights going on into the late game as well. There are certain fights where, you know, when we get our stronger weapons and spells and stuff, or stronger spells really, even though we don't really get any more weapons. You'll find that things like flare, for example, or arrow can't do the job, so you need meteor specifically to deal with something. Which actually reminds me to note something. We use a lot of magic in this game. The reason we can use a lot of magic in this because of those seeds. Remember, we have 255 seeds, so magic is not an issue. I remember we didn't really specify that, did we? Kind of important.
Something else I forgot to mention. Going into Mount Gale, one of the reasons I mentioned being level 16 for Ghidra is also being level 16 for Mount Gale. If you're level 16, you can equip the sword, and sometimes outspeed the enemy. If you're level 15, still need the claw.
I think at that level. Am I right in thinking that at level 15 you can't also one-shot unless you have the claw?
Yeah.
At level 15.
You need the claw at 15.
So level 16 also means you don't need the claw to one-shot, so bonus. How you have to. I think both of our players got level 16 on the Ghidra kill anyway, so I mean, and if they didn't, they'd be level 16 now, but I think that they did both get it on the Ghidra kill. Opus is fighting Dullahan. There are 2 ways to fight this, safe and not safe. Safe is by using, I say it's safe, it doesn't always work, by using the heal spell on Captain Dullahan. A little imp comes out and starts poking him in the belly. If that works, you'll have a variety of different status elements can be placed upon him. There it is! He can be poisoned, he can be paralyzed, which is the one we want to see, and then you'll be able to get some free turns out. You don't have to, Some people tend to do heal because Katie doesn't really do much else. She'll do like 700 damage with a arrow or an axe attack. You could.
Yeah, they do very comparable damage.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue that getting the paralyze is worth it, but if you don't get it, it's not worth it. That was a crit, wasn't it?
That was a crit.
And now he's just not. Okay, there we go. Cool. At least it was a quick and merciful death. Good.
Enemy crits are fair. Boss crits are fair.
Yeah, they're fair. So the life spell, which is very important, is in the fire section, which we skipped. I believe it's in the volcano. No, not in the lava dome. I think volcano. Yeah. In the volcano, you get life, and because we don't pick it up, if your partner character dies and the boss is not dying in the next turn, you're not going to win the fight. Which is even more annoying if it's the second to last turn. Oh my god! Opus! I'm so sorry. And now DDR is ahead. Okay. That can happen. Damn, dude. Opus is losing time. Splits, I think. At the colour of his timer. I think that means he's losing time.
Ooh, we got the poison on
he's
the
not yet
way.
ready.
99 damage.
Did we get the poison proc?
We got the poison on Opus' side.
Oh baby. Oh baby. I think Katie's in danger. Isn't it 10? Isn't it 1081 for?
I think that's what's been doing. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Doom Dance. Okay, so we haven't been talking about Doom Dance. Doom Dance is a one shot. If he targets your opponent and lands it on your partner and they die, sorry mate. That's just how it goes. That's life. Which is not very nice. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about it. We think it's speed based. We haven't actually speed based. We haven't really like confirmed it. But the thing is Doom Dance from Dullahan lands a lot less. There's an enemy that comes a little bit later who lands it a lot more, and they're faster. So, is it speed based? We don't know, but that's what we'll see.
DDR's through for.
Yeah, DDR takes the lead because that double death on Dullahan. The alliteration was not intentional.
Stop critting.
It's scary, isn't it? Oh, it's so harsh. Okay, so whilst Opus is doing that, DDR is starting, I arguably, the best part of the video game. How do you feel about Pazuzu's Tower? Do you like it?
It's a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah, it definitely exists, isn't it? Okay, let's explain. Pazuzu's Tower, this is the final of the 4 kind of like elemental dungeons that we're going to be going into. We're going to be asked by Dr. Otto, after we fix the wind in Mount Gale, he can create the Rainbow Bridge to get us to Pazuzu's Tower. Norma is there, and Otto's like, save my granddaughter! So
I think he's his
we
daughter.
Go. Oh, is it just his daughter? He's really old though, that's weird. It's really weird. There are 7 floors on Pazuzu's Tower. Floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What we're going to do is we're going to move up the right-hand side. At first, he is on every single floor we go to. And you can talk to him on any floor. However, the way this works is that in order to access or kind of really get going, you need to kind of get all the way to the top and then go down the other sides. You can't really reach him, really, apart from floor 1 and floor 3 easily as we go. Floor 1 involves more fights. Floor 3, we can just start making our way up. Now, if we speak to him on floor 3, what happens is he just sods off. He just goes. He just disappears. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want anything to do with us. He will appear on either floor 6, 5, 4, 2, or 1. He can't go to floor 7 because that's where the end of the thing is, and we need to fight him to get there. So you'll see DDR's going to speak to him on floor 3. He sods off, and he's going to be on one of those other floors. And we will not find out which floor he's on until we kind of come back, go to the very, very top, and start scaling down. He's not flying off anywhere. He's using an elevator. So we're going to get to the very, very top of the floor. And when we come back down on floor 6, so we're going to go up 1, 3, 5, 7, and then we're going to go down to 6. And then we'll go down 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If that makes sense. And it's kind of hard to explain. But, well, on floor 6, we'll pick up Flare, and then we're going to go and check where his pedestal is to see if he's there. If he's on floor 6, huzzah! Brilliant! We can fight him immediately. There's a switch that you can press. If you hit that switch, they're on floor 6, 4, and 2. They're on all the even floors. Other floor, you can press a switch. What this does is it locks the elevator, so it can't go between 2, 4, and 6. So if he's on floor 6, you hit the switch, you go and fight him. Great. If he's not on floor 6, you're going to go down and have to try and find him. 6 is the best because he's right there and you fight him immediately. 2 is the worst because you have to go all the way down to floor 2, and you then have to lock all of the elevators as you go down, all the way through. And it gets worse because the later it gets, the more enemies you have to fight in order to lock him out. So what we're going to be doing is going to the top and then locking elevators to lock him in place to fight him. That's the essentials of it, really. Does that make sense? It's a lot to explain. It's a very difficult dungeon, but we cannot control where he goes. There is no manipulation to it. It's based on the frame in which you enter, the frame in which you talk to him on, the frame in which you start the game. There is so much RNG and frame-based stuff that unless you can see the frames, you're not going to be manipulating this guy anytime soon.
I think I heard it's cart-based as well.
Oh yeah, it's cart-based as well, yeah. Well, at least we think, because the world record cartridge is in the hands of the Volters, one of the Moon Bros. Omega's gave him his cart, and I think Omega's got like 8 floor 2s in a row. The order of quality of floor, by the way, is 6, 1, 5, 4, 2. 6 is the best. I've explained why. 1 is really good next, because if you find out he's not on floor 6, what you'll do is you'll go down to the next floor. You'll see he's not on floor 5, so you won't going to bother. So you're going to go down to floor 4. You find out he's not on floor 4, so you'll then go down to floor 2. And if he's not on floor 2, just hit the switch on floor 2, exit out of the dungeon, and go and fight him on floor 1. That's really, really quick. The next one is floor 5. What you do is you find out he's on floor 5. You're like, okay, he's here. You've locked floor 6 already. So you go down to floor 4, hit the switch on floor 4, then go back to fight him up on floor 5. Then it's floor 4, because if he's on floor 4, you lock out floor 4, you have to go talk to him on floor 4, you have to do 2 extra fights to make him move to floor 5, and then you him on floor 5. So that's why 5 and 4 are the best after 1, and then 2 is the worst, because there's like 20 million fights. At least 20 million.
Give or take 1 million.
Yeah. You can only sub 2 in this game if you accept Kaylee as your true waifu. I guess that's why I haven't got a floor 2. No, Kaylee's the best. She's pretty cool. Who do you like? Who is your favourite partner character?
I'm a fan of Kaylee.
You're not a fan?
I am a fan of Kaylee.
You are a fan of Kaylee, okay.
Yes.
I'm saying.
She's got a big axe and wind magic. I mean, what else do you want?
More screen time. That's what I want. More screen time. To be fair, her section's huge. Like we skipped all of Ruben 1. Oh yeah, earlier Ruben appeared and fell off a bridge. Ruben's in the game. He's a character. He had a mace. He's pretty cool.
We'll see him for about 5 fights.
Yeah, 5. Is it 5?
Yeah, it's 5. I know you have to seed if you're not level 20, so it's 5. Okay, so Manticores, they suck. This is what's called the Hellway. Obviously
obviously between every single floor, the reason we don't go to the even-numbered floors on the way up is because of these corridors, which just take you from 1 to 3 to 5. The 5 to 7 one is Hellway, where you get 3 fights of guaranteed 3 manticores. Now what you do is you life one, you exit the other, you life the final one. But they're very quick, they're very powerful, they can outturn Kaylee, and they'll probably outturn Benjamin. You can sometimes get away with it. Life can miss, exit can miss, they can petrify, they can use fire attacks, which is very, very powerful. And you'll probably find yourself healing in between pretty much every fight unless you get lucky. Yeah. Fun fact though, in the Japanese version of this game, that's even harder, because they can't get lifed.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, the life spell works opposite. It kills living enemies.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. Just as long as they can get, as long as this like weird thing is saying it's fine. But I mean, like even I think these wizards can get life. Like the Thanatos can get life. I think the one that can't is these guys, the Chimeras. They can't be lifed. Sorcerers can. Nagas can for some reason. I don't know. Everything's just lifeable in here.
And the Beholders you can't because they reflect magic.
Yes. I always kind of thought about, could you imagine if this game was like next level Troll, if you exited a Beholder and it reflected and it exited you from the dungeon? Could you imagine? You're like on floor 7 and it accidentally happened. You get floor 6, you know, and you're making your way there. Oh god. Oh, that would suck. And if you are new to the game and you haven't seen this game before, yes, the soundtrack is insane. I'm not sure if anyone's mentioned yet today. It's one of those mandatory things that whenever you play Mystic Quest, someone will be like, "Damn, this music's rocking," and you go, "Hell yeah, it is!" Because it's amazing. It should be noted. I'm going to F5 just to make sure that my video's up to date.
Something we didn't mention, Kaylee's blind there. A lot of the battles for the last turn, if there's just the Beholder left, we'll have her go auto and she'll automatically use a healing potion on herself. We actually need to get rid of all of the healing potions, so that's really convenient. Because yeah, there's another inventory glitch that we have to do.
And it will involve the 4th slot, and it just so happens that, you know, as we said, Kaylee uses, I believe Tristram does as well. If Tristram has to use one, they'll use the heal potions first, and then use heal magic, which is kind of nice. So it just allows us to auto a bit more.
Yeah, well, Tristram doesn't have heal magic, so
all
he has is life.
Yeah, I guess that's why. It should also be noted as well. This is kind of something interesting about this game, that you'll find that you'll be using a lot more manual at certain points in the game, and the reason for this is we've got the resistance glitch in hand, and the bonus damage that we can get out with our characters. I believe you also get bonus magic damage as well. The AI that is in place for our characters is still assuming that they have the original stats. So that's why certain things don't happen. Like, you know, if you can one-shot, you know, 2 of, you know, like basically when we're in the tree and there are the 2 worms, and we have to use manual arrow on the pair of them because the AI still thinks that it can't do it because it hasn't got the bonus damage. That's why it's much more important. It's much more important later on to be very, very specific with your autos, basically. Because of the way that AI works.
DDRnoob picking up the Flare spell, the strongest spell in the game. Benjamin now does a lot of damage.
And we don't care how many times we use it, because we've got 7 billion seeds.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah. Well, how many would you use roughly in the because if we know we have 255 to begin with.
It depending on what floor it gives, depending on how many suits you.
Oh yeah, that's also a rule, by the way. There's a rule whenever you're watching this video game being played. If it's the floor 6, we PogChamp like we've never PogChamped before. Okay? So when DDR checks here, PogChamp or not. If not, baby rage! We baby rage like we've never baby raged before. So no floor 6 with DDR.
Yeah, we see Benjamin's flare is so powerful that now we have Kaylee defending him.
Yeah,
and letting him do all the work.
Yeah, definitely quicker, and it'll also put all the focus of the attacks onto Kaylee, so you don't have to worry about Benjamin getting knackered. The defend tool is actually very important. You can defend yourself, or you can defend your opponent, your teammate, and it literally just means that your teammate takes the damage for the person, you know, whoever is defending takes the damage for the person, so you can just let them get their move off, which is very important for the final fight. But we'll get there later.
Yep, and conveniently enough, when you defend your partner, any AoE damage doesn't actually stack on the one person. They only take the damage they would take. And the person being protected takes nothing. It's very nice.
Yeah, it really is powerful. There's that death stare. The doom stare. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Do we get the baby rage or do we get the PogChamp? 3, 2, 1. And baby rage! Okay, so it's not floor 5 for DDR as well. This is the thing. When it's not a floor 6, which is obviously the best and the fastest, and what at top level is the only one you take, pretty much, the game just becomes counting and crying when you realize it's not on the next floor, and just going, God, please don't be a floor 2. Anything but a floor 2. And realizing that you have no choice but a floor 2, because it's Mystic Quest. So it's not on floor 5. Not on floor 4 for DDR. So it's either floor 2 or floor 1. Oh boy. So, if it's a floor 2, you can, like, do double baby rage, you can do, like, you can dance game, you can watch face, whatever you want to do, just show your disappointment and your outrage. This dungeon is very long, you can tell. I mean, we've been in it for about, I think it's like 4. It's like you want to be getting to flare like 12 minutes, and then, you know, or roughly 12 minutes, and then kind of, if it's on floor 6, we'll be doing Pazuzu within by like 15 minutes. But you know, there's a difference of about, it's what, like 9 minutes difference between floor 6.
I've heard numbers varying from 9 to 12.
Yeah, 9 if you're like everything perfect.
Yeah, Nico in chat. The reason we can't reload is, well, first of all, we don't find out what floor he's on until we do like 20 battle. The other reason is that if we save and reload, it would get rid of the resistance glitch that we set up at the beginning of the game, and it's just not worth it. Opus gets a floor 4.
Okay.
And DDR gets floor 1. And
yeah. So DDR getting a floor 1 is very good, actually better, and will put him in good stead to take this one, to be honest. It's not over yet, obviously, but like that's, you know, not bad. So floor 4 is fairly quick. He just needs to go to the left. He'll hit the switch, go and speak to him, and then Pazuzu will head up to floor 5, where he's going to walk all the way back around the top and fight him. What DDR is going to do is going to exit and just go straight back in, because he's on floor 1. And just go and speak to him here on floor 1. But you can skip that fight by doing that.
I like how you just got the second worst option fairly quick. Because it is fairly quick compared to floor 2.
Oh yeah, like I think the biggest difference is like 6 is undeniably faster than anything else. But the difference between floor 4, which is the second worst, floor 2, again is massive. I think like 3 minutes, isn't it?
I'm actually not sure. It's still pretty significant. I think there's like 8 or 9 more encounters.
Yeah, it is nuts. So Pazuzu, the actual fight, that's the thing, the actual fight itself is nuts, because he can petrify and he can not, he can pile driver. He'll have basically after like 4 turns, what he'll do is he'll do this move called Psych Shield, where he'll reflect any magic damage. And if that was to be reflected a flare, it does not like reflect it at like less damage. It reflects it at full welly. You take the full brunt of your damage. That's 1.9k. It's death if you get a flare or any kind of big magic reflector on you. You kind of like to sometimes take the opportunity to seed up when he's psych shielded. What you can also do is a safer thing you can do is you can defend Kaylee and have Kaylee auto. So if Benjamin dies, he defends, and if not, nothing happens, you'll just heal both of you, which is nice. But yeah, the big thing here is just getting flares off on Pazuzu and hoping that he does something mediocre to Kaylee so that you can go in with her arrows as well, which is going to deal a lot of damage, because obviously he's weak to wind, because he's flying type. This ain't Pokemon.
Something we never talked about is turn order, specifically when Ben dies. Ooh.
When Ben dies. Oh.
So to finish my thought, Ben usually is last in the turn order of every single turn of every fight. If you have Kaylee set to auto, Kaylee's turn, what her action is, does not set until it is her turn. So if Benjamin dies and then it's Kaylee's turn, Kaylee will then choose to life Benjamin, who has not taken his turn yet, who will then take his turn.
Which is very handy. Like a lot of games just kill off the turn when a character dies. But not in this. Not in this, which is nice. It should also be noted as well that when Psych Shield happens, because obviously the game can't just let him go first with that and then you get bodied, Psych Shield will only be it procs at the last turn. So you will always go first with both Benjamin and Kaylee when Psych Shield is up. But that's not the same for when it drops. Kaylee is generally faster, so you'll probably not tend to attack, but he can sometimes go first, but it's just not safe. It's safe to not do that because she's generally faster. You don't want to like put your hopes in the fact that he might go first. But yeah, important to note, I guess, or interesting to note. Turn orders weird as well, because sometimes people go first and sometimes they don't. It's not a set case of if your speed is 55 and theirs is 54, you will definitely go first. It's not like that. The easiest way that I've been able to kind of explain it and kind of understand it is that there's kind of, depending on the difference between your speed and theirs, there's a percentage chance of someone going first and someone not. So like if you're, the same speed, it's 50-50 who goes first, because you're the same speed. If you're one speed faster, it'll be like an 80-20 in your favor. Or, sorry, it's like 60-40 and then 80-20 and then 100, like that kind of thing. It goes in your favor depending on how much faster you are until, you're clear of them, then it's definitely going to be first. That is not guaranteed. That's just my own posturing or postulating on the idea based on what I've played in the past. But there we go. Pazuzu down for DDR.
See if we get the epic chest skip.
So much time saved.
Look at that. Saved 4 squares of move.
Strats, dude. So the reason we didn't get that, inside there is the Sky Coin, We have 3. It's fine. We're all good.
Do we have 3 fake ones and a real one?
Oh yeah, and the real one. Sorry. We've got loads. Okay, so there we go again. Because we use up all the heal potions, we buy 0 cure potions there, and we don't do it yet. You need to let this happen here first. By hearing this conversation, Kaylee leaves. She sods off, and Ruben's all, "Hey, bruh," and then Otto says, go and find me the Thunder Rock, and then we can use the Rainbow Bridge. And you're all like, "Hey, dude, Thunder Rock." And he's like, "Oh, cheers, bruh." Because we have it. Because that just happens to give us the Thunder Rock. Yay! As well as the gas mask, I think the Venus key, and the mirror. So now we can see enemies in the pyramid and the volcano. Apparently there's a volcano.
I think I heard that you still can't. You don't actually get the trigger for it.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
I haven't gone back. Someone can confirm for us whether that is the truth or not. But yeah, you can soft lock the game if you do that glitch before you get Ruben in your party. Because if you do it with Kaylee, Kaylee never actually leaves your party. Because you never get the swap over, so she can't give you the cap there. And you need that cap to be able to go on to the next part of the run.
Opus makes it there. He is about 2 minutes behind DDR at this point.
Still plenty of game to go, though. Plenty of game to go. Max ship, interesting one. It's very, very short. I think, as Cyclone said earlier, it's only about 5 fights. Nothing major. Although you can get some horrible formations, just kind of like add unnecessary amounts of time. This could be that's a good formation. Most of the time, you'll get two Thanatos. If you can get a Thanatos, a Manticore, and a Beholder, and that sucks because it does. Like you can't deal with that because Ruben's got no magic, no like really top quality magic to be able to kind of like help you out with that. You'd have to probably just go for like life exit, which just
Yeah, DDR just got that encounter, just ran from it. It's not worth it. The first encounter DDR got into, you can get in a battle with a Chimera and 2 mages, and you kind of can't run from that, and it's miserable.
Yeah. Like, there's no point.
As I learned the hard way during a match.
What did you do?
I tried to run away, failed, died.
Nice.
I think I died like 3 times to that battle because I was like trying to run away and doing stupid things.
Yeah. You always learn things the hard way in this game. It is an unforgiving game, but it teaches you nonetheless. A wisdom-giving video game, this is.
There's that encounter on Opus.
Oh, wonderful! Look at that, stunning. So this is where when we're talking about Teal being situational. Bingo. The Chimeras do not. Well, oh, brilliant. Never mind.
It's a miserable fight.
Just use white. There we go. That's fine. Double white's fine. Oh no, it's not. Crap. I didn't know that didn't kill.
Yep, it's a miserable fight.
Look at this. I did not know that didn't kill. Triple white. Ruben, everyone. Ruben. Let's give a round of applause for Ruben.
Yeah, I learned recently. I think what you want to do is use life with Ruben. And then maybe like arrow with Benjamin.
Singular arrow. You could. I'm pretty sure like Meteor does damage to the Chimeras. I'm not sure if it would do it. I'm not sure if it would do enough damage to kill the sorcerers though. Or even the Chimera at that point.
I do know Meteor White is not enough to wipe all three of them out. I do know that.
No, because the Chimeras are strong against fire, so...
Yeah, I think it's what it is. Flare White, I think, takes out the sides, but not the Chimera. Alright, we talked about that fight. We forgot about the Gaia armor. DDRnoob picked up the Gaia armor in the last room of Max Ship. Gives us more defense, which is good. As well as... which status effects? I always forget.
It protects you against sleep.
Yes, that's an important one.
As well as a little bit of extra defense. Okay, so now we get some sick music on DDR's side.
El Mega saying Arrow Life the Mage, or Arrow Chimera Life the Mage on that map.
Sounds like a good option.
Alright, so
if it was Phoebe using White, it would be different because Phoebe's strong enough, but Ruben just is a knobber with the magic. He can't do anything.
Moving into Doom Castle, my favorite music of the game. Got a small preview of it before when we got Arrow.
GG. But yeah, so basically this is like a refight of, or like a you refight all of the bosses in the game, and all of the big bosses before, not the small ones, in a new form. So talking about boss flags, yeah, life shouldn't work on bosses, so
especially an undead one.
Yeah, don't try to life undead bosses. It's not going to work, alright? Just don't ever worry about. Alright? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work. So with that done, we then move on to the next one. So that was the Bone Dungeon segment, and then we're going to go straight onto the Pyramid, which again, there's going to be a lot of poking, a lot of pokey with the sword, and a lot of extreme magic usage.
And in the bottom right of the Bone Dungeon area is the Aegis Shield, which is an optional item that most of the top players have stopped grabbing at this point, I think. It gives you paralysis and petrification resistance, which can be very useful.
Yeah. The amount of enemies that will paralyze and specifically petrify on your way up here is incredible. Specifically in the third section, when you're back in like a fire refight. But there is a lot of, and then obviously the Zeus section as well. There's a lot of petrification rolling around, so you got to be careful. What's quite handy about this bit is that in this part of the game, because there was the boss, the Fanquid, and then the Squidite, and then the Fanquids, there isn't a third version of them really weirdly, despite being 3 versions of other enemies, but there's not another version of these squids. So we don't have another version, which means that because we have a low-level enemy in these formations, we actually do have a pretty high chance of getting strike first. I've seen it not be a strike first, but more often than not, probably like 9 times out of 10, you'll get a strike first on these fights, which means you don't have to worry just Flare White, GG. Or Flare Thunder, whatever you want. Thunder's quite a quick animation, so...
Yes, I believe he does Flare Thunder specifically because all 3 of them die at the same time. You only have to see the death animation once.
Yeah, if you white, you'll kill the Fanquid. So. Oh, a miss. Lovely.
I'm surprised he bothered changing, considering he had a strike first. Maybe he knows something I don't.
Pardon, sorry?
I'm surprised he changed from multicast Thunder to a single target arrow, or a single target bow.
I think it was just animation time. Like, he knew that the flare would kill the 2 snow crabs and just wanted to damage down the ninja. Just animation time. But I think that's just kind of like that's really reaching. the time to change probably would have been completely. Oh, this is interesting. blinder, and
Oh, is that so?
yeah.
Almagus knows way more about this than I do, unsurprising. He's saying that the animation that I was talking about, killing all three at the same time, actually doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
because it takes longer for them to go away.
Yeah. If you kill like one, it's like boom. If you kill two, it's boom. Three, it's like boom. There you go. That's my dramatic reenactment of Mystic Quest boss sounds. I hope you liked it.
It's beautiful.
Thanks, man. I wasn't sure because like obviously the damage is calculable between them, but I wasn't sure if it was the same for the animation. I knew that it was quicker, but I wasn't sure if it was back on the same. This is horrible, isn't it?
Remember that damage control I was talking about?
Yeah, exit missed. Okay, so again, boss flags. What are they? The stone golem can be exited. So yeah.
But not lifed for some reason. Or can he? I'm not sure I've ever tried. He might be able to be lifed, I don't know.
Oh no, it's only exit for him. But he is the last one that can happen to. For some reason, they just, at this point, they were like, crap, we should actually put some boss flags on the next two. So, yeah. I believe there is a difference. Speaking of, you may not care, but the Japanese version, you can life Flamerus, but I'm not sure you can life Skullrus. You can exit Skullrus, I think, still, maybe. I think there's something there. There's something there. Almagus will definitely come out of nowhere and say, haha, you're wrong. This is the answer. And I'll go, aha, of course, you're right.
The Cerberuses are... Well, they can be killed with a double white, but they are incredibly weak to flare. A triple cast flare will take them out with ease. A single target flare would do over 4,000 to them.
Quite a lot of damage. It's actually slower to kill those guys now. You take one extra step.
But you need one less menu.
One less menu?
Yeah, because we're gonna menu after the twin head anyway.
Anyway?
Well, you're probably gonna want a twin head menu after twin head to seed up and heal up, and if you just take out that fight now, you have the exact number of wizard casts to get to the twin head.
I wonder. So you could just menu after twin head it anyway. Oh no! Stone gaze on DDR. Menu or no, you do move one less square if you do it afterwards. It's one less square, it makes absolutely zero difference. Like, absolutely zero difference. Okay, so this is the twin-head wyvern. We're gonna, again, this is a fire elemental enemy, so flare is not gonna be very good here. So we're going to use, obviously we're going to get rid of all these quickly, and then we're going to basically just burn through any remaining wounded casts we have with Meteor, and then when we're done with those, crack on with Arrow to finish off.
I think he's just going straight to Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow is a little bit faster, but does less damage by I think about 200 per cast, or 100 per cast. 100
It's
per
about 200, I believe.
Yeah. And yeah, so you know you're off-putting a little bit. I mean, off-putting a little bit just to you know, off-putting a bit of time for extra attack. But yeah, most people will do Meteor until you run out, and then Arrow to finish. You don't need to see that. That's not needed. But either way works really.
Alright, that was a really good twin head fight. Twin head is very nasty. He has paralysis, which we didn't grab Aegis Shield, so that'll work. Fire, we have no fire resistance. That does like 800 damage or something.
Yeah, it would. I'm pretty sure like, it would pretty come close to one-shotting Ben, if it doesn't already just one-shot him. And yeah, the paralysis isn't nice. We're coming up to the final like major offensive or kind of like floor we have to fight through basically. Jesus. And there's a lot of these against Cerberus who can, you know, stone gaze, they can doom dance, they can do whatever they want. They suck. And there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of tricky fights because there's going to be a lot of very powerful enemies in multiple clustered formations. So there's loads of different things you have to be aware of in terms of like setups to kill and stuff like that. So it's a really I don't want to say it's a fun floor, but it's a really technical floor with loads of stuff to keep track of. And then you get a boss fight, which is just seems good, man.
There's that paralysis on the Opus side I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that fire on Opus side I was talking about.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, you're a wizard. So.
Poison's like the nicest thing it can do to you, and even that wastes time.
We're having a refight there, and the Chimera and the Cerberus is being a little bit tricky. So, I mean, when I say that this is not over yet, the Doom Castle is a struggle. It's a very, very difficult dungeon because there's so much that can go wrong, and it doesn't stop having the potential to go wrong until you get past the upcoming boss, and his name is Zhu, which is a reskin of Pazuzu, who we just fought, and obviously all the things that he did, Zhu will do, but even harder, which doesn't help, obviously.
And he comes with Doom Dance.
Ah, yes, Doom Dance. Which, as we saw with Dullahan earlier, and because he's faster, we think, he hits more, and he will Doom Dance a lot. And if he wants to Doom Dance CB and just say, cheers, thanks for coming, he will. And all you can really do is cry aggressively into a pillow. Really, and if you want to try other strats, you can. I wouldn't recommend them. But we'll see. We have to get there first.
Yeah, DDR's already been having some struggles on this floor. He's been petrified a large number of times already. With no end to that in sight. Hey, look, 2 Chimeras who can petrify and a Cerberus who can doom gate. That's great.
Hey, welcome to hell. Cheers, bro. Been waiting all my life.
Oh, wait, no, the Cerberus can also stone breath.
They can, yeah. If you didn't think Doom Dance was enough. Chimeras can stone and petrify, there's stone and death, there's death and stone, there's death and petrify, there's death and death. Just, oh man, yeah.
All the hands have Doom Dance. Oh, the Thanatos now, sorry.
Yeah. And
They like Doom Dance.
They have the almighty Hadoomerang as well, which is a good news. Yeah, it's one of those things, like there's just so many things you can do and so many adaptations you have to make. It's all about formations and, do you go first, do you not? How much damage control do you have to do after every single fight? And there's a lot of stuff to consider.
The Thanatosis can also heal They have gear magic.
Despite being undead and alive.
Yeah.
Just despite being undead.
DDR, you don't need to fight that one. DDR, you can't run.
Is DDR fighting the fight you can skip?
No. It's not the one you skip. It's that one.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, yeah.
But speaking of, I mentioned a battle you can skip about an hour and a half ago. There it is. Done.
Oh, boom. Just look at those strats. Did you see that? That movement was insane. Movement was insane. Never seen such a glorious movement. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fights here, and as we said, a lot of them are very, very tricky. Oh, hello, DDR getting to level 22, so we are seeing the small tic tacs for the small lines for him, which is nice. I remember when I was a kid playing this game, but I loved it when I hit level 22, and I was like, yeah, Benjamin's got the little HP.
All right, Zoo.
Oh, a psych shield, nice. So yeah, you want to basically take out the ads as usual, get rid of them quickly. Stone gaze on Phoebe. Zoo will definitely go first. Oh, hello.
That's probably the nicest thing you could have done, other than section.
Yeah. Any like attack move that wasn't that one probably would have killed him.
Yeah, that sky attack single target does like 1,000, so that would have killed him.
So Zoo is very, very fast and will always go first, pretty much. Like there's the odd occasion where Phoebe gets the freak go first. Again, he also has Psych Shield, but it activates a lot more frequently than Pazuzu's. If you have to be aware of that, just coming out of it and stuff. I mean, so far so good. Touch wood. So far so good. I touched wood, so if it doesn't happen, it's not a commentator's curse.
And those do us 20,000 health, and the wizard spells do with a little over 2,000 each. So 10 of those will not come out, or 9 and a bow hit. I've noticed works if you're like during the psych shield phase. You get to attack.
Really well, actually, for DDR, I think.
Yeah, that should be it.
Wow, what a fight for him. That is a very, very good Zoo fight.
And that's pretty much the last thing that can stop him.
Yeah. I mean, it was gonna be riding on that one. So I mean, he's gonna be going towards a fight as Opus begins. Oh man, there's the Doom Dance. I actually don't think that Zoo did it at all for DDR. There was not a single Doom Dance. I think.
He petrified Phoebe, but I think that's all he did.
Yeah, but I don't think there was any Doom Dances. That is.
Or no, the Chimera petrified Phoebe. I think. I don't think Zoo has. It does. Chat calling for the Dark Knight Infant. Dark Knight's a thing.
Yeah. So okay, here we go. Final boss. Has he got? I don't think he has insurance, so healthcare is not going to be going well for him. The Dark King has a HP underflow glitch where if you cure him, never mind. Or if you cure him, go on, son. There we go. 23,000 damage. So cure defend will allow us to do some damage, and then it's cure, so Phoebe heals him by a little bit more, and then we HP underflow again. And then we finish off by doing another cure defend, and that will be enough to finish off the Dark King. So here we go. And that is... Oh, hello. Just gonna
heal bow, wasting time.
Doesn't screw it up or anything, but it just adds, all this.
It screws it up at level 23. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, at level 23. Yeah, it does change it. That is GG though for DDR. He has finished there, and he has won the race. just as Opus finishes you as well. Very, very close. But yeah, 2:04.14. But do we have an official SRL time, sir?
Official SRL time of 2:04.15.
2:04.15. Okay, here we go. Done and GG to DDR. He will go forward to the finals. I believe this is the one, yes?
Yeah, finals is after this.
Is the grand final a best of 3?
Oh, I actually have no idea.
Okay.
I hadn't heard anything, so I was assuming it was a single match.
Putting it all on one, eh? Brutal. But yeah, that was a very, very close. The difference being, I think, the Dullahan double death for Opus was very unfortunate. And that kind of allowed DDR to get the lead, and then having the floor 1 versus the floor 4, that kind of was the nail in the coffin, because both players had a pretty solid Doom Castle going up. I think Opus had a little bit of a hiccup on a couple of deaths, but other than that, it seemed like it was kind of, for the most part, quite clean with players on the way up. As Opus is just finishing up now. And time for him with a 2:05.43. And an official SRL time of
2:05.44.
Oh, wow, they were both 1 second afterwards. Very, very nice. That was good, man. That was a good run. That was a good race. Well done to our players. Both having a very, very low 2-hour time there. Look, are our players about? I was going to see if they want to have a post-run interview, but that was a really, really close run. About a minute and a half between them at the end of that, or a minute 29. That's not too much time for this run. I mean, I was looking at the challenge earlier. Let's have a look. Challenge, which I should update actually. I'll do that now. So DDR wins that 1-1-0. Majority of the races have been very, very close. A difference of, like a minute here, a minute 10, 40 seconds, a minute 20 there, like loads of really, really, really close runs here in these quarters and this semi-final as well now. I believe we have Opus, who's just joined us as well.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going, buddy? Commiserations on the very, very, very close race. It was obviously, it didn't go in your favour here. 1 minute 30 between you.
It's good. I mean, I was expecting a bigger disparity, but I'm glad. Yeah, that's cool.
I think the biggest thing, unfortunately, for your run was Dullahan.
Dullahan, yeah. That was brutal.
Nice. It reminded me exactly how they were both crits, weren't they? Because Phoebe was Kaylee was just underneath max HP, and crit was enough to take her down. And it was two of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 2 crits, 2 crit deaths. That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, another thing I found funny is in Doom Castle, DDR was ahead of you, and I'd be like, all right, this boss says flame breath and paralyze and all of that sucks, and then he got through without any of that happening, and then the first thing that happened to you every single time was everything I had mentioned.
Yeah.
Good old Wyvern.
Yep.
Twin head. Yeah, it wasn't. It was really interesting because the beginning of the run for both of you went incredibly well. I mean, considering the fact that you lost to Behemoth as well,
Yeah, two times.
Was that double crit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You had a really good flame wrist though. You came out of that flame wrist still with a low, it was at 10-20 I think it was or something.
Yeah, that one felt really good. That was a really good fight. I got lucky at the end there because I just basically with all the bosses I noticed I had one guy remaining and I just went for it, and it paid off. I mean, got a good time regardless of if it excluding Dullahan and floor 4, that would have been a sub 2. So it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna get DDR in here.
Okay.
Is he about?
I got
I'm
it.
here.
GG's.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank
Did
you.
you say? So that was a 204 for you. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's a
Coming off the back of a
204-14.
Oh, I have a very, very important question.
Sure.
What was with falling down an ice pyramid and fighting those gathered?
Oh, I messed up, simply.
I was like,
I forgot how to get out of there.
I saw you fought on the left side. I was like, that's a mistake. And then you fought the gathers. I'm like, what is he doing?
Well, I thought I wouldn't be able to run from them. That's why I fought them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That was the rationale behind that. And then the other one, I just simply forgot.
Yeah, you kind of went like, yeah, you're supposed to jump over the box.
Yeah, I missed my right input, that's why.
Ah, right, okay. Blaming the controller, misinput. I think that's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I've done it.
I don't actually know, but do you know if the final is a best of 3 or if it's a best of 1 DDR?
That is a
Thing
great
now-
question. I wonder that myself.
Well, we're going to find out very. Well, we're going to find out at some point, so do not worry.
Okay.
Looking forward, though, obviously. I mean, you, as I said, you came off the back of a very, very good PB recently with a 156.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Was that how, obviously, you know, has that kind of given you a little bit more impetus to keep going with grinding this game, or are you kind of like going to be...
Somewhat, but I do want to move on to 100% of this game as well, because I do want to improve my PB for that category. I'm satisfied with 80% at the time, for the time being.
Fair enough, fair enough. What kind of like when you're looking for those kind of faster times? What is it that you kind of really like to focus on and definitely like improve? Like feel that is most important to your improving.
Well, it's pretty much how I handle whatever goes wrong. Like you've seen in some of my Doom Castle fights, I opt to use Thunder, even though Whites could have been a good backup. It is a good backup. And I ended up using Whites in a few battles after that because Thunder wasn't doing the trick, especially in the double Cerberus and Shadow formation. That I just got unlucky there.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. And like, I'm not too familiar with your splits, you know, role by role with the game. But was there kind of like anything today that, considering you're running against, I assume you're running against your PB splits.
Yeah, I have been.
I was just kind of wondering like if there was any bit that you were really ahead of in that race, like one section you were doing really well or not so well.
Well, I think it's the beginning of the game, really, up to and maybe including. I forget if I had Zero Sphinx as my PB. I think I had. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was up to Exit Battlefield. That's probably the best part of my run. That is. Like, the PB I had, it lost a minute on the Tristram section of the Alive Forest. It lost a minute on, what was it? Zoo for sure. And I took a death to Dark King. And there was one more section. I guess Bone Dungeon could have been better too. That's about it I can think of for my current PB.
Yeah. Just kind of see, like, kind of like, comparatively today, kind of like seeing exactly what went well for you and those kind of like those problem areas.
Yeah, the tree section, entering the tree, was better than my PB because it was pretty dreadful. And aside from that,
yeah, you just like opened up with the mummy and just kind of like went straight with the exit, like just.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
That was really good.
That usually never happens, but I guess the speed boost helps.
Yeah, I noticed that halfway through the tree, both of your times were really fantastic.
Yeah, I opt to fight triples with exit and auto because what I used to do was, what I noticed Opus doing was triple arrowing for the most part. I don't do that at level 13. I start doing that if I reach level 14 and onwards. That's my rationale behind the triple arrow, double arrow rather, on triple worms.
Fair. Because like, in terms of your time, like I think it hit 1 hour when Opus you were scaling the walls. You know, when you have those like S formations, if it's hitting an hour on that screen, like that's really good pace. I assume Opus, you were about, I want to say, you must have been like a good couple of minutes ahead of your PB going into Tree.
Yeah, going to Tree, I was like 40 seconds ahead of my PB, and then after I beat Gidro, I was a minute ahead of my PB.
Dang.
So I had a really good Tree though. That was really
Yeah,
nice.
it was a really good tree, from what I've noticed.
Yeah, I
Was
mean,
nice.
yeah. But then good old Dullahan.
Oh
in my
yeah,
place.
I did witness that, and I felt pretty bad because that's what happened in my. I think it was my PB prior to that, or
Really?
I don't remember. But Dolahan did mess me up. It was my PB prior to it.
He didn't just crit kill me once. He crit killed me twice. Like, that's
I think he also did Doom Dance, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yep.
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's
I
alright.
just like how resigned you are from that, Opus. It's just like, yeah, dude, that's me.
I accept it. I accept everything from this game after.
I think that fight made the difference.
So if you had like one bit of advice for someone who's kind of like wanting to pick up the game, what would it be?
Me? I'm trying to think. Look up Murphy's Law.
Look up Murphy.
That is a
Make
great
sure-
thing to look up.
Pin that up to your wall and just like just respect it. You gotta hold that close.
Hold that to your heart.
Yep, hold it.
Fair, that's good.
But other than that, you just kind of have to accept what's going on. Like it's like this is the like I don't know. Other than like those like strategy games, like I'm trying to think of one that'd be like super RNG heavy, like Romance of Three Kingdoms or something that's like constantly, just all of it's RNG. Like this is like a step above that, but there's still a lot of it. So you kind of have to accept the fact that this game's gonna treat you poorly, no matter what.
Absolutely. And if I may chime in, I think running this game really helps with your situational awareness throughout the entire run, because you have to keep track of all of your spells and as well as your HP and which formations are coming up. You gotta be aware of what's going on and prepare for what's next. You have to be one step ahead of what the game's doing to you, even if what the game's doing to you is pretty bad. Still gotta prepare for it.
Okay, excellent. Just okay, cool. Thank you. I think we're running out of time now because there is going to be the Diddy Kong race. So did want to obviously just kind of get, if you have any kind of last thoughts or words about either the run or anything, go for it now, and then we'll kind of, whenever we can, we'll jump over to Diddy Kong.
Go ahead, Opus. You can start.
Oh, I'll just say, just good game. Thanks for hosting this, the race. Fiesel, thanks to the commentary guys. This is, had a good time in the tournament so far. So hope it keeps strong. Everyone gets some good times. Yep, let's do this. Let's finish up this tournament.
Mm-hmm. And for myself, if you guys want to learn more about this game, we do have our general Discord. You can join. Any of us can give you the invite to the server, and you can come along and pick our brains about the game, whether it be any percents or 100%, or even randomizer or low percents. We'll be there and help you out.
Excellent.
Yep. And also, there is another match of Mystic Quest coming up tonight on Speed Gaming 1. I'm going to be playing in it, so...
Oh yeah, you're going to be playing against
Feral Pigman.
Feral Pigman
Oh man,
Feral Pigman.
looks like Cyclone.
I wasn't expecting to win one of my matches already, so here's another one.
So,
The match is in an hour and 50 minutes from now.
It's going to be over at Speed Gaming channel, not Speed Gaming 2. You guys are wondering.
If you guys have enjoyed Cyclone's commentary, he did a very, very good job. You see him put that knowledge to the test in his own race in a bit, so make sure you check that out and support. There's more Mystic Quest action to come here on Twitch. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Must say, Cyclone, pleasure working with you, sir. Stuff.
You too.
Good luck in your race later.
Right.
And I think, Fiesel, what we'll do is we'll leave it there for you to jump over to Diddy Kong. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.